Hushin, editor of the eTail blog, and I'm here at eTail Boston 2011. And I'm here with Bob Kupbens from Delta Airlines. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks for being here. So Bob gave a great presentation this morning. I keep saying that about everyone, but it's true. The presentations have been really awesome this year. And just kind of talking a little bit about the kind of lessons in e-commerce to learn. And I guess a good place to start is, how do you think the travel industry is different from retail when it comes to e-commerce?
You know, there's an interesting phenomenon where everybody in travel, all of our customers are in motion. So the site and the investment that we put in the site is really, really important, but other channels like mobile and tablet and things that can serve our customers while they're on the go and when they have needs in an airport or at their destination are just as, or maybe even more important because of we're in the travel industry. And that was never like that in retail. I mean, I worked at Target for a long time, and retail was certainly more about the site and about finding the things in mobile that could augment that experience and ultimately augment an in-store experience. But in travel, I think the killer app is that people are in motion, and we've got to serve them in any channel that we can whenever they need us.
Awesome. So definitely mobile was one of the kind of lessons that you talked about, and I want to delve a little bit more into that because I think that's a big opportunity for you guys and for travel in general. But what was the first lesson that we talked about in your session? Do you remember?
Yeah, it was basically, and it seems basic, but your site needs to be good. And I think what that means for us is that we took a lot of effort to put the things that people use most when they come to our site, so flight search, flight status, check-in, big, bold, up at the top, right in front of people, not virtually any clicks to get into that process. And so making sure that the site is good and delivers on exactly what people need when they come to the site is absolutely the first lesson. And then an augment to that is also making sure that because of the explosion of tablet, that your site looks good not only on a laptop or on a big computer screen, but it has to look great on a tablet as well. And for us, even more so in travel, because people are out traveling the world and they've got their tablets with them.
And what was the next one?
It was about mobile. It was that,
Okay,
that
right.
mobile has to be as good or better.
Right.
Because of the fact that our customers are in motion. And you know, I used to have a question that I asked, which was, what % of people who are either consuming or purchasing our products are mobile? And it was it was a joke because it's everybody, and everybody's in motion, and getting from point A to point B can be stressful. And so we're trying to create tools, in particular in mobile, but in other channels, to get people exactly what they need, when they need it, and take that stress away so that they can enjoy their trip. Right.
You mentioned a kind of an interesting example from when you were at Target and you were trying to figure out what that killer mobile app was in retail. Why do you think it's so much harder, per se, to figure out what that killer app is in retail as opposed to travel, where it's just simply travel?
Yeah, I think that retail it's a different industry. It's a different experience that people are having, and so much of retail is a physical, tangible experience. You know, at Target we were, very focused on even in e-commerce, getting people into the store. Because, you know, at Target, you walk in for toothpaste and you leave with $200 in your cart, and the power of the brand and the experience in the store and augmented by the site is fantastic. Target's a great company, they do that so well. And it seems like in travel it's more essential to be very focused on mobile because people are moving, and that killer app just isn't as clear in retail.
Right. And you showed a video which was pretty hilarious and probably a great hit at the show of T-Pain.
That's right.
And he
My new favorite rapper.
unsolicited gave you guys a big plug about the Delta app. Some interviewer at a show, asked him what his favorite apps were, and he listed Angry Birds, Shazam, and Delta.
That's right.
And the interviewer seemed almost surprised, like, Delta, really? Why do you think that is? I mean, what are you doing with your mobile app that is really becoming so popular and that people are kind of giving you free advertising for it?
I think the biggest thing is that we're really trying to enable the functionality that people need most. So the thing that was featured in the Apple commercial was our mobile boarding pass, and that mobile boarding pass and the ability to just use that when you get to security and use that at the gate. I mean, it's really, really seamless and almost kind of surprising that you can do that in mobile. And we've gotten now to the point where about 4% of our check-ins are done on a mobile phone. So we're really seeing the adoption of that feature take off. And so I think it's that continuing to provide unique and surprising features in mobile that really make people's travel and lives easier. You know, another example is the feature where if you are you miss your connection, or if your flight's canceled, on the phone you have the ability to get rebooked. So the phone will say, if your record has some kind of service interruption, the phone will say, hey, here's the flight we've rebooked you on. If you don't like that one, here's 3 other choices. If you don't like those, press here and it'll search for some more. So that kind of unique, surprising, and incredibly useful functionality, I think, is why people love the app so much.
Right. So we have make sure your site is good. Mobile, you want to kind of use it to its best. I can't remember exactly what you summarized it as. Mobile, just kind of pay attention to that channel. What was the next one?
It was about social. I mean, I think we have used social in a lot of unique ways. We were the first airline to be selling tickets on Facebook. You can check in on Facebook. We have this amazing customer service channel on Twitter called @DeltaAssist. And so we have really tried to leverage social in the best ways that we can. But the lesson is, don't try to go beyond that. Don't try to do something with social that it's not. It's a great channel for feedback. It's a great channel for service, very discreetly, one-to-one. It's a great channel to to project marketing messages, but don't expect too much, and try to narrow your investment and narrow your focus on the things that are going to achieve your objectives, and don't just do social for social's sake.
Now, is that advice you would give mainly to the travel industry, or because I see a lot of retailers that actually are doing social commerce and trying to be successful, and some are being successful. So is this kind of something that you would say just to the travel people, or do you think that's a general rule?
I think it's more general. I would just say, understand what your objectives are, not just for social, but in general, right? I mean, ours are around revenue, ours are around customer service, and around great loyalty. And so where social can help us get to those objectives, we'll use it.
Right.
Where it's off track in some way, or an investment that doesn't seem to make sense and align directly to those objectives, we don't do it. And so I think that's advice that anybody should heed, is figure out what your objectives are.
Right.
What are you trying to improve? And then if social is the right tool to do that, then use social and invest and do it well.
Right.
But if it's not, go somewhere else. Use a different channel or a different approach.
Now, to play devil's advocate here, you did say in your presentation that Facebook is the #1 site that people are using on your in-flight Wi-Fi, which your passengers are paying for.
Right.
So if that's the case, and you have that as such a main hub that people are going to in your flights, why don't you see more opportunity there?
It's not that we don't see opportunity, it's just that we see opportunity in specific areas. I mean, we would not have invested in the ticket counter app if we didn't feel like we wanted to have a presence in Facebook, in a place where people are, engaging with Delta and with Facebook. We want to be there, and so that's why we invested in that way. I would just say, you have to be careful not to overdo it, and make sure you use social in the places that it makes the most sense for your business.
Okay, so we have get your site good, mobile, pay attention, social, use it for what it's worth. Don't overestimate.
For where it's good.
Or don't for where it's good. Exactly. You said it best. What was next?
The next one was thinking about the customer's experience, in our case the passenger experience, the travel experience, end to end, and using each channel where it makes the most sense. So an example was, we love the kiosks that we have in the airports, and we've invested a lot in trying to make them perform better and be faster and find your record so you don't have to go stand in line. But we don't want it to do more than that.
Right.
We don't want to clog up the airport lobby trying to sell you something, or trying to watch a movie on the kiosk. I mean, that's not what it's for. It's an absolute check-in machine, and it needs to work every time, help you get through the airport quickly, and get you on your way through security and onto your flight. And so that's an example of that channel's good for this one thing.
Right.
We're going to do that one thing with it, and then if we're going to merchandise, or if we're going to try to talk to you about other things, we're going to do them in the channel where that makes sense. And, I think the other thing was, I made an argument for tablet as an important part of that overall ecosystem, and not necessarily native tablet. I mean, it starts with a site that works well on tablet, but tablet's so important as you think about not just shopping, but kind of exploration.
Yes.
As you think about entertainment, that tablet device is so powerful, and it's really important, I think, for us certainly over time to be there, and I think for others as well.
Okay, great. And I think there was one more, right? A last final lesson?
Yeah, it was related to the organizational structure of our team, and just the fact that no matter what the structure is, a set of shared objectives are the thing that hold that together.
Right.
And so we have objectives, whether you're a developer, whether you're an agency partner, whether you're on our product team, whether you're a merchandiser, all the objectives are the same. It's revenue, it's customer service and loyalty, and that unites us in a way that I think is very powerful.
Okay, great. Well, 5 great lessons for e-commerce, for travel, but also a lot of crossover into retail as well.
Yep.
So thank you so much for being here and
No, thanks
joining
for
me
having
and
me.
talking about it. Thanks so much.